What's up, everybody? Welcome to a road trip edition of Geeks and Ghosts. Yes, I had the opportunity to go to the Paranormal Journeys Expo on September 27th of this year, and I was invited by John Fowler, who runs it, and the Midnight Watchman group. I was invited to do a lecture and take part in a discussion panel, which was fun. It was actually really fun, despite being the only skeptic that was invited there. I had a run-in with, a certain person, Padre. But other than that, I mean, it was great. The response was awesome. Everybody enjoyed the talks, and they had a lot of questions, and it was really good. Lou's not here because he's out getting tacos and burritos and Diet Coke. I don't know why. And since he's on the West Coast, it was a little hard for him to attend this. But while I was there manning my table, our East Coast correspondent, Kat, was able to go around and do some interviews. And she did 3 of them. She talked to a few people. I'm going to play those for you. So I'm going to actually sit back, get out of the frame here, and I'm going to play some of those videos and just let you see the, overall feel and expose you to some different people that attend these conferences. We have one guy that's claims to be a demonologist, and another that's an author of a book. She's got several books that I bought 2 of. Who else? And we have Tracy Law back. We actually get to see what she looks like because she wouldn't turn the video on when we did the audio interview with her. And then finally, I took the reins and did an interview with John Fowler and talked about the conference and why he puts it together. And so I'm going to stop talking and let the videos play. So I hope you enjoy them.
You could just tell me your name and what you do and why you're here.
My name is Matt Tierney. I'm here. I was invited by John to lecture on the possession and the occult. I'm personally a demonologist. I've been in the deliverance ministry for over 15 years now. I deal along with Father Joe. I'm his understudy. And it's a treat. Yeah, well, I should say treat. It's something that you're called to do. You don't really want to do it, to be honest. Because a lot of people in the West deny that there is a good thing as good and evil. Everything is that black and white scientific mindset, and there can never be any deviation. Even outside whether paranormal is true or not, because I know it's a great debate, but, you have the East and human history of thousands of years of this stuff. And then the West says, well, we're scientific, we say no. And for me, I was raised and trained in medicine. I understand scientific method. And there's plenty of times when I'll sit here, even like photos from our own group, I'm with the Society of Paranormal Research and Education. And me personally, I would say, I don't think it's anything. I've done photography my whole life. I've been published in stuff before too, and I agree, there's so many variables, what can you do? It's like orbs. Oh my God, I have such a pet peeve with that. Give me a teaspoon of flour and a camera, and I'll give you any orb you want. Yeah. Either that or just have a dog come up and shake right under the camera and get all the dander and everything. But, the paranormal was interesting. I think it's an uphill battle. It's no different than any other, well, science ain't the right word for it, because I agree with Kenny in this regard. It is pseudoscience. That is the truth. But that's pretty much how everything has started off at one point or another. Nobody considered physics in the 1600s. Oh, yeah, that's true. They were like, oh, no, you're wrong. The Earth is in the center. Stuff like that. And that took hundreds of years. Who knows for the paranormal? Maybe it will become a science, maybe it won't. Being in medicine and stuff, I have my doubts about that, because you have this stigma where with science and the believers are both closed-minded. They always say they're not. All of them will say they're not. But generally, that's not true. The believers are closed-minded. It's the evil science. They're going to tell me everything's wrong. Science is like, you guys don't know what you're doing. It's all hocus pocus. And there's not too many people that want to go in between.
Right, and actually try and figure out
there's very few people.
Truth that is balanced between the two.
It's like a myth. There's always some grain of truth to it.
Right.
Even if Zeus isn't throwing lightning bolts, maybe at the time they had a guy that got struck by lightning. Maybe not, but you see where I'm going with it. And nobody wants to cross that boundary. Nobody wants to do it. Nobody in the science community really wants to do it because, let's face it, they'd be a laughingstock. There are research reports out there about, I was just reading one. I can't remember the name of the author. It was on near-death experience. I got mixed opinions about it. But the book was interesting. It was a Dutch doctor, Lamel or something like that. I can't remember his name. I can look it up and tell you after, but he actually told you which research studies you can look at. And that's like another area, you know, is it real, is it not? I mean, there's not enough conclusive evidence to say guaranteed, yeah, if you look at empirical data. People can have their beliefs all they want, you know, but it's still a belief.
And even then, if you're, like, is it being monitored? Is it
Right.
a personal experience?
Yeah.
And everybody has their own throw on it where you can bring both together. Maybe even have, you know, like terminology that's the same and help the paranormal field out so that they're all in the same, like they're talking
Yeah.
about the exact same thing instead of,
Yeah, it's like two different books, and I agree. Like the word paranormal is like in America the word Christian or born again. It's just taboo. It really is. So it's like paranormal. No, I don't want to hear it. But paranormal, by definition, it means things above the normal or the unexplained. It doesn't mean Casper standing there. I mean, a black hole is a great example.
something that the human intelligence doesn't
Right.
know about yet.
You know, like a black hole is a great example.
I just was trying to make sure
Like I
this
was,
was, okay, you're good.
like I was saying, a black hole is a great example. You know, we know it's there. We know how it's created for the most part. We don't have a clue on how it's in the middle.
Right.
We don't have a clue. So by
There's been a
definition,
lot of scientific evidence, even a new article about the black hole
Right.
released by a British university recently stating that they don't even exist.
Yeah.
That was just out. I was just reading about that like 2 days ago.
Sure.
And I'm like, okay, you know, even the universe itself, it's going to go back and forth.
Yeah.
You know?
you know, because like in a black hole, we kind of know what it looks like on the outside, and even science, like Dr. Michio Kaku, he's pretty open to say, we don't know. We know a little bit. Like they have a term singularity, which is when you go in it. You got the event horizon, you pop in singularity. You're like, well, what's singularity? I don't know. It's a word. Congratulations. What does it mean? I don't know. You know, and you know, will we ever find out? That's a big question. Even with a black hole, I mean, can we have technology to be able to take the gravity? Can we take the heat? Can we take the radiation? I mean, I don't know. Not now we could. No, I mean maybe thousands of years, maybe in human evolution. I mean, you got the other thing is maybe we can do it, but will we know it? Only because in theory time stops. It's going so fast. So, I mean, there's so many variables, and you know, with the paranormal, it's the same thing. I mean, personally, if I were to say, will I become a bona fide science, I kind of lean towards no, because I think there's too many variables with it. I mean, not only are you use the scientific method, but the scientific method removes religion and culture. The problem is the paranormal is deeply intertwined with religion and culture. So you need to alienate, well, that's not the right word. You need to remove a whole part of science with paleontology, anthropology, all this. You need to remove that because that outright talks about the religions, the practices, the spiritual beliefs. But mainstream science says, yeah, that's a science, but no, we don't usually listen to it. There are exceptions.
And instead of incorporating and saying if you form a hypothesis and have a theory of that hypothesis, how can you put the two together
and that's a breakdown of scientific method because they don't want to admit that, hey, there might be truth to it.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying that a camera or this meter here is going to give you bona fide evidence now, but you don't know what the future holds. That's why I said about it's prejudice on both sides of the fence.
Right,
it's
but you need an open forum that
Right.
isn't prejudiced. We need records and data and information that is used openly.
Exactly.
And like openly shared, and then you can actually have both sides look at it.
I tell people flat out, like me personally, I might be in a group and I might be trained for exorcism, but if you told me you had a ghost, I'm trained in psychology. I'm going to wonder what's wrong with your head.
Right.
Get you looked at medically. You know, like if somebody's saying I
First
could.
response to it is yes, make sure that you're physically okay.
All my medical training comes in, and also I look at it also a liability. You can sit here and tell me, oh, I got a ghost. I go, woo, 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 you're better. Then you go kill yourself with a shotgun. Well, who's liable? Me. You know, I mean, you need to look at the medical aspect. I mean, we've had instances where people are like, oh, I got a demon. No, you don't. You need lithium. Here, take the pill. It's cute colors.
Make sure the environment that you're in is safe.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
there's multiple different plethora that can come into play with that. So,
but it's a fascinating topic. There will always be a debate.
yes.
You know, we need skeptics in the world. We need believers. I mean, because ultimately
It would
between
just be
the two.
nice if they came together and actually could work together as a team instead of fighting each other.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's kind of like, no,
Like-
I perfectly agree with that. I mean, well, even different branches of science don't even want to really work together. It's so compartmentalized. Like, when I was working in my pharmacy classes, like I was taking cardiac medicine 1, all right? So I'm learning about the different classes of cardiology. Well, heavens forbid I was asking questions about how does this affect your lungs? How does it metabolize into your liver?
Right.
You know, how is it excreted?
Like the effects.
You're like, whoa, we're talking about the heart here. Well, yeah, I know, but I'm asking after class, not during. So why can't we talk about it? I mean, like acetaminophen, common painkiller, doesn't do anything for me, but for some people it works great. But it's really bad on your kidneys if you take a lot of it. That's why it's getting a black box warning on, like, they're cutting down from 500 milligrams to 325 now in your cold medicine. Well, the medical community and the pharmaceutical community don't want to talk to each other. And you can get into the whole politics and all that, you know, you got lobbyists here and there, but just outside of that, people still don't want to do it. Nobody wants their opinion challenged.
Right.
I personally don't care.
That's human nature right
Yeah,
there.
nobody likes being told you could be wrong.
Exactly.
But it's like, I know when I learned as a kid, because when I was really young, I could be right but really brash. And it's all how you say it. You know, and I think that's the biggest thing. You have too many people going, that's just malarkey. Nah, that's stupid.
It's called respect in this mentality.
You know, you can totally disagree with someone, but it's how you say it. Like, look,
And how you listen.
you know, how about this? Why don't we look at this? Maybe this is a better idea. You know, pursue it. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. I mean, even if I have my own personal belief, sure, I don't have an issue doing it. And you can learn other things, even for both of them.
Right.
Yeah?
And that's the whole thing about science. That's what science is about.
Yeah.
Is you do experiments. You're going to fail most of the time in those experiments, but it's getting that knowledge from those experiments, you know, and making something of it.
Yeah, I agree. The system works, but it's the people doing it that really matters.
Right.
You know, do they work? They might have all the tools in their bag,
But if they're not
but if they're not willing,
applying it correctly, it doesn't. Nobody in the end.
yeah,
All right, sir. Well, thank you very much for your time.
no problem.
Your time.
I'm Shannon Boyer-Jones, and I write various paranormal books. I have 2 Civil War based and Pennsylvania based that are here today. I also do ones on other Pennsylvania stories and the East Coast shipwrecks, like haunted lighthouses and all that. My whole goal with these is to go beyond just the stories people hear and actually look at the history behind them, do investigations there, and try and pull it all together in a more cohesive form that doesn't seem just a storybook to me.
So you use history and records and put it into a form that people can actually make something put together.
Right. Most of what I do is general history. I don't always delve into the deepest things, but it's for the average person that just wants to know a little bit about the history, a little bit about the hauntings, perhaps how they were tied together.
And then they can go forth and explore more on it.
Yeah, I do try and stick with places like Gettysburg Battlefield, Manassas Battlefield, where anybody that's interested has an opportunity to just go and do it. There's a few less public ones, like Booby's Brewery is listed. That's a bar in Mount Joy, Pennsylvania, and it's a mix. But I want other people to be able to do what we do and have an understanding of it.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. We all know who she is, but could you introduce yourself again and tell us about how lame it is? Oh, cool stuff. What do you have?
I'm Tracy Law. I'm with Morbid Curiosity and Morbid Images, and I've got, oh, there we go, he's holding it up for me, awesome. It's a photo book, The Art of Death, and it's all images from cemeteries around the world, and I also do crafty things.
She fed these to Kenny.
Which I do apologize for. Yeah, these are sugar skulls, and I scared my neighbor making coffins that have chocolate skulls in them.
They're melting, and so cool.
And also,
Her beautiful art.
so they're also available online at morbidimages.com because I'm getting my plug in there.
Because she's the coolest one here.
And we're also doing 2 public investigations, one at Graham Park on November 15th and one at Laurel Hill on November 8th. So if anyone's interested, go to morbidcuriositystv.com and there's a link there and you can sign up and all the information's there. So there you go.
Okay, let's see. This is Kenny Biddle. I'm reporting for Geeks and Ghosts, and I'm here with John C. Fowler, who is the guy in charge of this event. So, tell me, why did you put this together?
Well, I believe the paranormal community should give back in charity, just like Grand Park here needs help for money in tough times. Every year we try to do that. We try to minimize costs and get a lot of money towards these facilities that need money or charities, and just trying to give back a little bit.
Cool. And what about, tell me like a little bit details. You don't have to pay to get into the vendor area.
No, anybody can come in, walk right around, talk to all the vendors. The lectures are $5. The ghost hunt, we have this, that's tonight coming up, $65. Actually gets you all the lectures for that cost. So the event is very family friendly. You're not going to pay $20 to get in, another $20 to talk to Mr. Psychic or whoever, and you know, it's something you can bring the family to.
Cool. So what do you run a group yourself?
Yes, Midnight Watchman is my paranormal group. I also have paranormaldictionary.com, which is a Wikipedia for the paranormal project that I kind of been working on for the last 2 years.
Sweet. Do you have any other projects? What do you guys do? Do you I guess, investigate? Do you educate the public? What do you do?
Well, we do investigations when we can, then find a place that's either free or low cost. We try not to pay, an arm and a leg to investigate a place with, 40 people we don't know. And if it falls in our lap, great. We don't really do private homes too much anymore, just because they've been such a challenge to complete due to, people being people.
Okay.
And basically in events like this, we do public events occasionally, and we find a place that's want to work with us and needs a little bit of help. We try doing that. For the most part, we just investigate when we can. I don't have a set timetable.
Cool. And in addition to the lectures that you had today, you did a roundtable discussion. How did that go?
Oh, pretty good though. Legend Kenny Biddle. Worked out nicely. Everybody had a good time. And you see when you did have a good time.
Nice. So, I guess you had people from different backgrounds in there, and how did that go as far as people getting along on there and answering questions?
Well, everything went great, and the one thing I love about the paranormal is the different views. I think it helps to not just define what you believe in, but push it. And that's good. You should be challenged every once in a while, whether it's evidence, thoughts. Everything new is not always better, but occasionally it works. You need to try different things and see what happens. It's not just, if you always believe it's always been done this way, you've already failed. So
That's good. I like that. Okay.
getting bugs back.
How can people contact you if they want to talk to you, ask questions, whatever?
Pretty much, if you can find us on Facebook under Midnight Watchman, or Paranormal Journeys Expo, or Paranormal Dictionary, I handle all of them, so you can contact us there, or you can go to our website, www.midnightwatchman.com, and click on the members tab, email me there. That's cedric@midnightwatchman.com.
Cool. All right. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, I hope you enjoyed that. I mean, there were a few videos. I know the audio was kind of low. We're still learning as we are learning with our Geeks and Ghosts show. We are also learning with our interviews, because that was the first time we actually went out and did that at a conference kind of thing. So, again, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any complaints, please direct them to Lou, the Mexican, in California. He will deal with all of your troubles by pretty much ignoring them or calling you racist. So, that's how he works. Look for any information for next year's Paranormal Journeys Expo, because this was the second one, and it sounds like there's going to be a third one, and I plan on being there. So, as soon as I know about it, you'll know about it, okay? And I guess that's it. I'm out of here. See ya.